The last day of the Autumn Carnival last year, it was all Bart's son and, of course, James and Ed's dad, Anthony, and what a brilliant win it was by his star filly, She's Extreme, in the Champagne Stakes in 2022.
She's Extreme still in front, Fireburn lifting late, She's Extreme clinging on from Fireburn, and She's Extreme flips the result this time. She's Extreme wins the Group 1 Champagne Stakes by a half length to Fireburn.
She's Extreme, we just watched her win again, the Champagne Stakes. That was some kind of win, Anthony.
Yeah, it was very strong. Brent Abdullah wasn't too kind to Tommy in the size leading into it. And we spent a bit of time to working out a plan to bring all that undone and get in front of him. And it worked. So, time and effort, but certainly a quality filly made all that possible. And she raced really well. It's the best she went to the races, I think, through that preparation. And to see her come out on top was fantastic.
It's hard to believe it's a year ago, but I can remember the smile on your face. It meant a lot, didn't it?
Oh, I did. It's always nice to be competitive at the top end, and it was a filly that we really liked and had a lot of time for right from the get-go. She was a group winner at 1200. We thought there was a way to have won. The size didn't happen, and then we got it right with the Champagne, and it was just very satisfying.
She's had a couple of problems, a couple of health issues since. How is she, and what will you do next?
She's in great shape right now. She went off to Lee Everson's place for some rehab after she bruised a tendon. That's reacted really well. He's quite confident she'll be back for the spring. And in light of that, I suppose the Golden Eagle is a race that sort of puts its hand up for her. I'm hopeful of her being there for that. And then if that turned out okay, then the race after. Well, there's a couple of options for her after that. One of which would be the 2,000 metre race at Flemington on the last day.
It's a busy time, the Sydney Autumn, but when you look back and say that the championship's been going for 10 years, successful, isn't it? It's a good concept because you get day one, day two, you get the sales in between.
Yeah, it is a fantastic concept. I wasn't quite sure of the championship thing from the get-go, to be fair, but it's worked out, better than anyone could have hoped, I think. And it does, represent exactly what the name says. The championships of all sorts of races, and whether it's the Mayor's Mile or whether it's the Queen Elizabeth and all those sorts of things. Doncaster fits into it. The Sydney Cup. All those are grand final races, and it's a grand final, racing period.
What about Cote last week? What did you think? Because plenty of tipsters thought that he'd win.
Yeah, I was probably one of them. I think the horse raced really well. I think we paid full penalty for the outside gate. He jumped too well to sort of try and get back in, and the horse we thought would lead and sort of put a little bit of space in the field didn't, and he missed a start, so that didn't happen. The horse is directly inside. We thought one would go back, one would go forward, and that didn't happen. So finished up being stuck on a limb, and that was pretty awkward. She elected to go forward, which is, I suppose, fair enough in the circumstance, but we've seen that he's better off with a sit and hit the line, so we'll do that next time.
What about the final day of the carnival? You got a few chances?
My Truth looks like being our best chance. He goes to the Frank Baker Plate. Two very strong wins his last two starts, so I think the step to 2,000 will really suit. He's by a stallion that's been really dominant over the last little while for Sia. New Zealand-based stallion who's done well over there and here, so hopefully we can join that team.
I know how much and how proud your dad was of you and your boys, and we look over at that picture. You must be just cock-a-hoop at the way they're going. They're extraordinary, the way, both of them.
Yeah, it's very satisfying. It's a bit of a father's dream to see them sort of follow, as I did with the Hot Mile Land, to sort of follow in the footsteps, but probably going better than I am.
But that's not bad, is it? But it says something. It says something about the DNA. Can you unlock it for us?
I suppose I do. We've got a couple of kids doing the same thing. So just very satisfying. We had a Easter Sunday. All the kids came around, all the grandkids and the rest of it, and it's a pretty funny day. So we all get on well. It's a very competitive business, the racing side of it. But there's always a bit of chat about some of the horses and what are you doing and this and. It's just, for me, I love it.
You still wake up and feel the magic?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, it's this time of year. Usually wake up before the alarm goes off, so that usually tells you you're going okay.
What about for the spring? Anything that you've got high hopes for? I know it's a little way off.
Yeah, I've got some really nice horses sort of coming through, and I think for the spring, we'll be a force to be reckoned with.
All right, all the best on Saturday. Thanks, Anthony.
Good on you. Good luck.